hold my face then.
5, 4, 3, 2. Hey everybody!
Hi everyone.
Man, we are the Broomes.
Yes, we are.
We are a blended family.
Yes, we are.
We are the organizers, the co-founders, founders.
I'm a co-founder. You're a co-founder. We are the founders, but.
So I'm the founder, you the co-founder, because you're under me. I'm the head.
Hey, if that's what you'd like.
All right.
You got
so I'm the founder. This is my co-founder, who actually is also my wife. But we are the organizers of a God movement, we believe, that is called Blended Families Rock.
Yes.
Where we come together through our life's experiences and through wisdom, through knowledge, through biblical teaching, through practical principles that have been imparted to us from counseling and other mentors and mentees. And we try to help bridge the gap between biological parents and non-biological parents.
Yes.
We don't use the word step. Ain't no step in this house. Ain't no step in our life nowhere. It's always bonus. Everything that God adds and multiplies is always a blessing. Mm-hmm. I'm Tario Broome. This is my wife, Charmaine Broome.
Hi.
Talk to him.
I love you. And I love you. I love all of you. We love all of you.
Yeah, it's a blessing to be here, to have this platform with my brother Dion, to be able to just talk to men about blended families, women about blended families, and actually families, couples. Mm-hmm. We counsel a lot of couples, whether you're married or getting ready to go into marriage, dating, all that, whatever it is. Give them some ways they can reach out to us if they enjoy what we're saying.
We are on all social media outlets. You can find us on Facebook at Blended Families Rock or Blended Families Rock LLC. We are on Instagram, Blended Families Rock. Right. And our website is www.blendedfamiliesrock.com. You can find all information about us. You can find paraphernalia. We have shirts, we have mugs, we have just all types of products. We have a new children's book out called My Dad Has a Girlfriend.
Yeah.
And it is really, really amazing. We know that divorce and breakup can be very traumatic, especially for children. And so we did a children's book to prayerfully motivate children and help them navigate through what comes with their new norm when it comes to, having their parents who have separated, or a parent is getting ready to get married and they're getting ready to get a new bonus parent, a new bonus family. And so that is our prayer where that is concerned. And so, yeah, you can find us there. Come check us out.
That's good. Anything else you want to say?
We talked about the mission, right?
No, we didn't tell them our mission.
We didn't tell. Oh my goodness gracious! How dare we not tell you our mission? Our mission is to help bridge the gap between non-biological and biological parents, to help them create a better energy and a better atmosphere in the home for children, for their families. And our mission is also to help biological parents and non-biological parents come up with the perfect formula for their blended family to be the best that they can be.
That's good. So we don't want to be before you guys long. We want to just help you out with what we call the 9 rules.
Oh yes.
And again, what we tell you guys is always just biblical sound advice. It's nothing that you have to live by. But we want people to know that this is not just something that we woke up and decided we wanted to do. This has been a struggle, even in our home, the submission to do it, because taking on an assignment like this is very, very hard.
Yes.
Just to let everybody know where everything is and where we are as a culture, as a country, as a community. Every day there are 1,300 new blended families that are formed. 1,300 in 24 hours. And even, with 24 hours, you can't even really say that. You just have to say in a working day. Mm-hmm. There are 1,300 blended families being formed. More families are remarried, recoupled in America than married for the first time. Mm-hmm. So we just want to give you guys some stats, some facts, and just some honest opinion. Most of our sessions are kind of like back and forth dialogue session. So this one with us just talking is kind of different for us. So we just want to kind of just help you guys navigate through whatever situation you're in. And before we get started, just know that whatever situation you're in, give it grace.
And there's hope.
And there's hope. Yeah, give it grace, and there's hope. The grace that you need today, you'll have to show tomorrow. So in every situation, give grace. That was good, wasn't it?
That was very good.
I got that from Dion.
I know. Yeah. I thought it was the grace that you show today, you may need tomorrow. I thought it backwards though, I think.
All right. Hold on, y'all. But what I'm saying is, if you thought it was something else, you should have told me after this. Don't tell me in front of them.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. We back. So how we start?
Let's start from the very beginning. Like,
what makes us a blended family?
Not even what makes us a blended family. Where did blended families originate? Blended families originated in the Bible.
Right.
Blended families originated in the Bible. When you look at Abraham and you look at Sarah and you look at Hagar, they were the first blended family.
You got some word in you. I didn't go. Keep going.
Are you okay? You are not okay.
Keep going.
So they were the first blended family, and even in those even in that blended family dynamic, you begin to see, or you were able to witness the first bout of maybe drama or tension between Sarah and between Hagar, and so with that, it is inevitable that you have some form of I don't want to say confusion, but you have some situations where you can where you can experience difficulty, you can experience tension and strain, but at the end of the day, you are also able to see victory at the end of the tunnel. And so,
because Sarah eventually gave birth to her own son.
She did, but remember,
with Abraham, who was Isaac, and Ishmael and Isaac were brothers with the same daddy but different mom. That's a blended family.
It's a blended family. Yeah.
You like the way I ran that down off the top of my head?
That's great. Okay. So I don't know if they used the word step back in that day though.
No,
or blended.
Or blended. No, absolutely.
I think blended is just a word that we have kind of made it just as a people. The word step though was the original terminology for it. Well, not original like in the Bible days, but more in modern day time.
Right, modern day time.
And the word step pretty much derived in a long time ago, before we even thought about being born. But when a man, if his wife passed away and he became a widow, a widower, he would remarry, and that woman would step up to be what his former wife or deceased wife no longer is. And so that's where the word step came into play. So that's how you became a stepmom. And it just carried on. Stepdad, stepbrother, stepsister. Throughout history, the word step has really, really developed a negative connotation. And so you can really relate the word step to the evil stepmother or the evil stepchild. And so to us,
or even step in the name of love. Step away.
I don't know how that relates to that, but I'll try to get it.
Okay.
But so, those types of words, they don't really feel very, they're not bright. Those words can seem kind of dark. And so we love the word bonus. Bonus mom.
Love it.
Bonus daughter.
Bonus check.
All of those things are bonuses.
Bonus Chick-fil-A sauce. Like when you order 2 and you get 1 Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah. It's a bonus. But the word bonus just sounds better. We don't use the word bonus because it makes one feel better. But we use the word bonus because, number one, we are an added bonus. Yeah. And, our children who are bonus children are added bonuses to our lives.
Yes.
And so there's nothing evil about me. There's nothing evil about my bonus daughter. So why would we stamp ourselves with that word? It's just not for us. Now, if that's what you choose to do in your blended family or in your step family dynamic or blended family dynamic, then that's, on you. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that's what we choose in our family. So that's how we roll.
Because it's hard to just do it just talking. And because I don't want to just stick to I want to stick to the notes and I don't want to be long. But um, what would somebody ask? How do we meet?
How did we meet?
How do we meet?
Why don't you go first?
No, you tell them.
No, you tell them.
Okay, I'll tell them.
You got it.
We were at a church. I was at a church in Atlanta. Excuse me. I was at a church in Atlanta. And it was actually a musical. You know, if you're familiar with Atlanta and the culture. I was at a musical one night, supporting some friends, and I walked down the aisle, and all of a sudden I felt like this hand gaze, maybe like the back of my thigh towards the back of my knee. And I immediately, in that moment, just felt virtue leave my body. And, you know, I immediately went to the scriptures because I read the scripture. I'm actually on day 217 of my Bible app because I read the scripture every day. And I felt virtue leave my body. And I said, well, God, you know, first of all, I'm not you. And I know this is not the woman with the issue of blood. So I, you know, I stopped where I was and I said, who touched me? And I didn't say it out loud. I said it in my mind. But as I was saying it in my mind, I looked over and she was smiling, you know, just giggity. And I don't know. It's maybe like, it's almost like she had never seen anything so beautiful before. So, you know, she waved and she smiled and, you know, got my attention. And eventually I kept in touch with her. I put her on the prayer list. We would pray regularly. And one day, she just came out and told me, I love you. I'm in love with you. And I know that God has put you in my life to be my husband. And I said, well, you know, right now, ma'am, I don't really know that, but give me a few days to pray about it. I prayed about it.
This lie is very long.
So here we go with the rules of.
I'm going to tip your mouth because
that's going to hurt.
Because you are full of fibs. We met at church.
Thanks.
He, I was sitting in a pew and next thing I hear is psst, 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 psst. So I turn around.
No, tell him how you, cat calling.
Yeah, cat calling. That's what I call it. It's cat calling.
Jesus.
That's what it's called.
You're old, lady. Who says cat calling?
Are you crazy? So anyway, so I turn around. He's there. He's smiling. His smile is just beautiful. God, look at it. It's just gorgeous.
Braces twice.
It's.
I didn't want my retainer.
So anyway, I went out and met him, and after that we went. Forgive me, my eyes itchy. After that, we went outside of the church to talk, and I knew then that this might not be the best thing for me because he was so popular. Everyone knew him, and so every time he saw somebody or somebody saw him, he would stop our conversation and talk to them, and it was too much for me. And so we exchanged numbers. We would talk on the phone every now and then. His communication was horrible. And so when I say that, I mean, and I say this in love, he would say, I'll call you back in 30 minutes, and 30 minutes would turn into 3 days. And eventually I just said, you know what? I'm okay on this.
I was spending time with God.
Yes, you were, with God's daughters. It's okay. We're married now. So anyway, what does my breast smell like? Because I just ate something.
Hell.
Shut up.
Okay.
No, it does not. But so anyway, he chased me for 2 years, and I finally gave in, and I said, you know what? All right, cool. Let's do it. And here we are.
Here we are. So with that being said, I don't even want to keep going because I know my wife and I know what she's capable of. Let's dig into these laws. Let's dig into these rules.
With blended families come rules.
Definitely have rules. And also what we'll try to do is we'll try to expound on each one of them with the best of our ability without having, you know, maybe back and forth dialogue that we would usually have. All right?
Yes.
How's that sound?
Absolutely.
You ready?
Yes.
All right, let's go. Give them number one.
Number one, the first rule would be honest, open communication.
Why is that important?
It is very important to have open and honest communication because when you are open and when you are honest and when you talk about things, results happen. When you are open, when you are honest, it gives each person the opportunity to really know how you feel, where you're coming from, what's going on in your mind, where your heart is coming from, and it allows that other person to receive the information, digest the information, and we believe that when you are open and when you are honest, it gives everyone an opportunity, or the best opportunity, to grow from what you may feel is an issue.
Right. I think also, just to expound on that, it's number one, but it seems so simple, but it's so prolific in the sense of, it's one thing to communicate, and I kind of learned this being married to her, because I was one of those people that was closed off, didn't really know how to communicate. But then there was it's another thing to communicate honestly. And if a blended family is going to work, you have to be honest about your feelings.
Yeah.
As a man, it's okay to not be okay sometimes. There's a lot of stuff going on in our world right now that affects families. It affects the next generation. It affects our kids. It affects things of that nature. So it's okay to not be okay. But I think it is my responsibility as a man to let my wife know, or my girlfriend, or my
because I'm that too,
fiance, whoever, to have honest communication. So that's number one. Number two.
Can I piggyback really quickly?
Sure.
Even with honest communication, you have to be able to let your feelings out and let your emotions out in a respectful way. And the more you hold those things in, the more that you are suppressing what's really going on, and it can cause your emotions and feelings to come out in a different way.
Facts.
And so
so true.
It's very, very important to just go ahead, find a way, even if you have to pray about it first, but God, give me the words to say, create the perfect opportunity for me to be able to express how I feel and let this be known. Because I don't want to, or you don't want to hold this in, and then you express your frustration in another way. It's not
Absolutely.
Healthy. Okay, number two.
All right, number two. Make sure, and this is going to sound crazy, but make sure your potential spouse or partner likes children.
Yes, God.
You will be amazed at how many times we talk to people, and once we kind of get to the root of the person, or how amazing the person is, how amazing the relationship is, but why is that person not connecting to your child? Mm-hmm. This is not always the case, but in a lot of cases you find out that a lot of people just don't like kids. Yeah. And if you're in love with somebody that don't like kids, that needs to be stated. Yeah. I'm not going to say that it can't work from the jump. I'm not going to say that it can't work, because that's not what we're saying. All of this is hard work. It can work, and it will work if you work at it.
Yes.
But you all need to have that honest conversation. I know that sounds so crazy in today's society, but there are a lot of people out here that just don't like kids.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Number three.
Know your role.
No, we missed one. Go back. Remember, you wrote it in small. Number three.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Teamwork. Who's the smartest?
Oh.
Go ahead.
Number three, the child or the children come first. You have to always remember that and put that in the forefront of your mind.
Yeah.
This does not mean that, let's say you all have a date night and your child is having a meltdown because of something that happened at school, or because of a boyfriend or girlfriend issue or whatever. It doesn't mean that, okay, now date night has to be rearranged. It doesn't mean that. What we mean when we say that is, when you have frustration, when you have emotions and things that you're dealing with internally, you have to, before you think of what you're going to do, your reaction, you have to think about how it's going to affect the child first.
Absolutely.
If we can get personal,
absolutely,
there have been a few times before we kind of got it right, where there was confusion in our blended family dynamic.
Absolutely.
And it would cause emotions, And of course, when someone does something to hurt you, or when people do things deliberately to attack you, you want to attack back. You want to respond. But I've had to learn that how will my response affect our daughter? And so, in that retrospect, that was me choosing not to react and to respond in a negative way, something that could affect her long term. That was a way of me putting the child first. Put your BS to the side. Put your drama to the side.
Please.
Be an adult at all times. It's really beneficial for you to do that. And you doing those things are the perfect way of making sure that the child or the children come first. It's not about you.
It's not about you. I'm glad you said that. And I think we were doing it in the beginning, but I think we got caught up. What makes us a blended family? What is our dynamic? Are you the bonus mom, or am I the bonus dad?
I'm the bonus mom.
Okay.
I'm the bonus mom to a beautiful little girl. Can we say her name?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. A beautiful little girl named London.
Yes.
And she is phenomenal. She's amazing.
Not little girl, say preteen, because we don't want her to.
She's a preteen.
Yeah, we don't
She's
want her to be offended.
12 in 2 days.
In 2 days.
But yeah, so I met her when she was 1 year old. She was in diapers. 1 year old in diapers, and she's amazing. She's just amazing, and I love her.
That's our dynamic. I had a child from a previous relationship before I met her. And that's how we actually were gifted the blended family dynamic.
Yes.
Because I don't think we dealt with that at the beginning.
Very good.
All right, let's go back to it. Number 4. Know your role.
Please.
This is important. And knowing your role is for the parents, the bonus parents, the child, and also the village itself. It's important to know your role because a lot of times, because of emotions, lines and boundaries are crossed.
Yes.
And when you know your role and you stick to those roles of who you are, what you and your mate, your boyfriend, fiance, husband, whatever, what you all have discussed, that makes things easier.
Yes.
For instance, I have a friend that if it's your husband's duty to go get his son and you stay at home because for whatever reason you and his son's mother don't get along, let that be that. Know your role. Like, stay in that role until you understand that time has actually healed the process or the things that need to be dealt with. So now you can take that ride. If y'all have had conversations, and I don't want to say too much because we have a long list to go. But in the blended family dynamic, it is so important to know your role.
Super important. Super important.
Anything you want to add?
I think even with that, it's like, I believe, and this is what I stress to my bonus mom followers, shameless plug, have a podcast called The Bonus Mom Coach, and it is incredible. But in one of the episodes, I talk about this specifically, and I believe that there are 2 categories where your role is concerned. You can either be the supportive spouse and the supportive bonus mom, or you could be the disciplinarian. And for me, I believe that I am the supportive role, supporting my husband, supporting our child. And I believe that is the role that complements me and complements who I am, complements my personality, and complements my heart. I don't have a heart for discipline. I don't have a heart for, some
fussing,
families,
yelling.
I don't have
none of that.
I don't have a heart for that.
None of it.
Now, I do have a heart for when it comes to if I do need to step into a disciplinary situation, or a situation where I do need to discipline her, we're very vocal. So we have conversations. I will never put my hands on her. And I don't believe that anyone who is in a blended family dynamic, if the child is not biologically yours, you do not ultimately have the right to put your hands on any child. And so, but some families are okay with that. That's just not us.
Right.
And so there are 2 roles. supportive, disciplinarian.
I'm disciplinarian. She's supportive.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And those are our roles, and those lines aren't crossed.
Yep.
There are times where the supportive takes over, even in moments that I feel like discipline needs to be there. That supportive role takes over, and it conquers more of what needed to be done rather than me just fussing.
Wow.
I'm one of those fathers. I grew up in South Carolina, a little small town called Winsboro, and my mama beat me with everything, but she really didn't leave out that.
Well, I got whoopers too.
Yeah, like I come from that. I'm an 80s baby.
Me too.
But a lot of times, especially in today's culture, today's society, not only is that maybe jeopardizing the home sometimes, if you guys understand what I'm saying. That's a lot of times that's just not the way that I want to deal with her. And because, for me growing up, we didn't have the things the kids have today. So when I was growing up, I was really into stuff. Like what I was into, I really deserve to be beat. For her it's different. And, again, what the nuggets that we're giving work because we take elements out of them to make them work for us. Not everything that works for us may work for you. You may whoop your child and that's how you guys operate. That's not how we operate. Even if there are times that I may be on the road or taking a trip or traveling and she does step out of line because she know, that's the supportive. My dad's not here. We have moments where we have had that happen, but even still, she still stays in the supportive role. I still wear the disciplinary hat. Not for 1 second do we switch what we know work as adults just to fulfill that moment. Because it's not worth it. Because
it's not worth it, and it's not fair.
It's not fair, right? Because at the end of the day, she's almost 12. I guarantee you, if she ever were to try to discipline her now at this age, it wouldn't discipline her; it would scar her. It would take something from her. So it's important to know your role, stay consistent in that role. One thing we have found out more than anything through working these ideas, these logics, these blueprints is that consistency works. When you are consistent, a lot of things just kind of break open. Even if you've been doing it for 30 days, try 30 more.
Yep.
If you've been doing it for 45, try 15 more. And I promise you, eventually you will begin to see the grace that your hard work and that your consistency has definitely paid off. It's just like anything else. Consistency is key.
Amazing.
Right?
Amazing.
That was number 4. Number 5.
Number 5. Don't rush the relationship. Take your time. What are we rushing for? Get to know your spouse. Get to know the children whenever it is time for you to incorporate meeting their children or you introducing your children to the person that you are dating or courting. Take your time. These things can be very, very, very traumatic for children, and they don't know really what's happening. They just see what's on the surface. And because they don't know all the details that come into play or come into why things are the way that they are, it could be very, very critical for them to be able to have enough time and have enough space to be able to go through their process. And so if you just rush and you're just always around and you're always in their face and you're always this and always that, it can be overwhelming. And so it's better to just really, really take your time. Don't rush the relationship. Don't rush the relationship with the person that you're dating. I've seen so many women who have come to me and they are in a relationship with a man who has children, especially small, young children, and they've fallen in love with these kids. But something has happened along the line of their relationship that makes them feel like this relationship may not be the best for them.
Right.
And what's causing them not to leave and make the best decision for them as an adult is because they are attached to the children. And that's because they immediately met the children, fell in love with the children, started doing things prematurely.
That's good.
So take your time. Don't rush the relationship. Don't rush the relationship with your spouse and or who you are dating, and don't rush developing a bond and relationship with the children.
That's good. That's real good. Number 6, right? Number 6, respect the barriers. Now, when we talk to people, a lot of times they say, well, isn't respecting the barriers knowing your role? But it's two different things. In context, when you think of a role, you think of something that you actually are in, something that you do, something that it's just like whatever your role is. If you're in the sports, each player has a different role. Even in a household, the man has a role, the woman has a role. That's what your role is. When we talk about barriers, when you see a barrier in the road, that means don't go.
Yeah.
Don't go behind this barrier. Don't overstep this. You know, when you come to a fence and it has a barrier, put your car in reverse. So that's the difference. When we say respect the barriers, we're basically saying in respecting the role, respect the no's. Respect the I'm not ready for that yet.
Yes.
Respect and I get this a lot. And one thing about us, we keep it 100. Respect the I don't want her around my child right now. Respect the I don't want my son over there with him right now. Respect those barriers that one another has put up. And not only that, respect the barriers that your potential spouse, your husband, your wife, respect those barriers that they've put up. I'm not comfortable yet. I don't want to do this yet. I don't want to do that yet. Well, why she didn't say this to me? We're not there yet. Respect those barriers. Even for us, we have, and again, what works for us may not work for you, but the way we communicate is we communicate in all. We have a text thread with me, my wife, my daughter's mom. They even have one with just her, my daughter's mom.
Talk.
Yeah,
because you don't want to hear that.
When they being messy, then they want to talk. They want to take it away from me.
What?
But anyway, so
at least we're not talking about you.
Facts. So even in the conversation, the dialogue, there's nothing missed.
Yes.
And my daughter's mom has the respect for my wife where she understands that is his wife. Anything I say to him, I can say in front of her. Now I wish that I had the same respect because they be giggity and ha and talking about people on IG and all this other type of stuff.
Jealousy.
But never jealous.
But you want to get in on our girl conversation, our girl talks?
I'm good.
Oh, okay.
But you have to respect those barriers. When you respect those barriers, it makes life easy.
Yes.
Again, why is it important? Because again, all this stuff ties it together. If you are communicating honestly with each other, there isn't no like one of our mentees, one of our mentors. I'm sorry, not mentees. One of our mentors, Tammy Hatton, say, if you having above board conversation and there's honest communication, ain't no reason to hide nothing.
Yep.
So you got to respect those barriers because in those barriers is how everything develops. Because honestly, if there's not a barrier, everything just run wild. If Atlanta or if Georgia didn't have a barrier, it'd just run over into South Carolina. We wouldn't know what is what. We wouldn't know how to define the different regions.
Yep.
We wouldn't know how to define what's what. Good. Where does this go? So in building a blended family, it is very important to respect the barriers.
Yes.
Just another example for us. Through our process, we're just trying different things. There was a point in time where she would ride with me to meet London's mother to get London, but she wouldn't get out the car. There was times where we grew into it where maybe a few times, I don't think you've not ever been if you were here, but there were times where she would go and get out the car. Then there were times where once the relationship developed that she would go and I would go in the gas station and come back out and London things is already packed up. She's in her seatbelt. She's ready to ride because eventually those barriers over time, they begin to grow wider and wider. And that's the process. We want things to grow. So
Absolutely.
respect those barriers. Know that where the barrier is now, it won't always be, but wherever it is at, respect it.
Right. And let me just add to that too. Um, with respecting the barriers, it just really creates a level of comfort, and it creates a level of trust between parties.
Yes.
And I believe that our hard work, where respecting barriers is concerned, really granted us the access to be able to go further, where meeting up is concerned.
Yep.
There, we've gotten to a place where if I want to call London's mom to say, hey, my husband's out of town, but I want London to be here when he gets back.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Can I meet you? And I will meet her and we will meet halfway.
They have met,
and I
yeah.
will bring London back and
Yeah.
go pick up Tario from the airport. He doesn't even know that London is with me. And when he goes to open the trunk of the truck, not like a trunk of a car where she's closed in, but it's like a
Tahoe.
SUV,
Yeah.
a Tahoe. He'll open the trunk and she's there.
Yeah, to put my luggage in and
To
she
put his
pop
luggage
out.
in and she pops out. And so those are the benefits of just respecting barriers.
Yep. That's good. That's number 6. We got 3 more.
Yes.
Number 7.
Set realistic expectations. Set realistic expectations. What do we mean? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Okay, I'm gonna let you have it.
Okay.
But let me say this, and
Yes.
I just have to act out on my wisdom. Setting realistic expectations is something that works for us beyond being a family.
Yeah. Oof.
Setting realistic expectations is something that goes beyond fatherhood and husband and wife. Like personally, and it's crazy because I kind of just felt something wake up in me. But personally, for whoever's watching this, set realistic expectations for yourself first.
Ooh.
Set them here first. Because it is not until you set them here and you achieve them and you work for them that you can actually appreciate setting them for somebody else and then them gaining that same success that you had. I don't know why that just came to me in that moment like that, but okay, go ahead.
So good.
Set
Right
realistic
there.
expectations.
Yes. Set realistic expectations. That was good.
Thank you. Blended family. Who's the
Yes.
smartest?
All right.
Who reads every day?
I read too.
Well, I'm just saying,
Okay.
I've been reading since like last year. I'm on like day 297 of my devotion. All right, number 7.
Yes, set realistic expectations. So what do we mean? We mean don't go into this head first thinking or expecting you all to just be one big happy family on day 2.
Because you did.
Well, yeah. I expected, let me tell you, I set an unrealistic expectation when it was time to meet London's mom for the first time.
Okay.
My expectation, I set the bar for my expectation like super duper high. And I was coming from such a pure place, a pure heart. I was happy, I was excited, and I thought everything was just a stack. Like everything was good. And I met her with this big smile and I wanted to hug her and all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, everybody's gonna be cool. And her response to me was, hey. And so in that moment, instantly, I was like, okay.
Crushed.
Woo, shattered. But I recognize now, looking in hindsight, I set a unrealistic expectation. I expected her to do something that at that time she did not have the capacity to do. And it's okay, because we've all been in a place where someone has expected something from us, but we have not or did not reach a place in our life journey where we were able to have the capacity to be able to fulfill that expectation. And so I'm thankful for grace. I'm thankful for learning. I'm thankful for growth. But that was my very first experience of setting an unrealistic expectation. And it didn't just go away immediately. There were things like when we got married, I felt like, things are going to be great. We're going to be, this happy family. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And things just never turned out like that in the beginning. It's taken time, and it's taken time, But another example of someone setting an unrealistic expectation, expecting the children to love you like they love their bio mom
Yeah.
or their bio dad.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where you have to be okay if it never happens.
Mm.
And it may never happen. You know, when I think of London, I think of the fact that her mother's voice was the first voice that she heard in the womb, and as soon as she exited the womb. And so the connection between her and her mother will always and forever supersede the connection that she has with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would be very, very ignorant of me to set an expectation that, you know, no matter how hard I love her, no matter how much I do, no matter how many times I pray for her, or, you know, whatever I may think of, it would be very ignorant of me to expect London to love me just as she loves her mom. It's just unfair. It's unfair to her, and it's unfair to me, you know? And so that's something that I would never do. And the beauty of it is the fact that I know what it is. And a lot of people don't really see that in the beginning. It takes them a long time. And so, you know, the time that's leading up to them to come to that realization, they're expecting things. They're expecting Mother's Day cards, and they're expecting gifts for their birthdays. And with social media, they're expecting social media shout outs. And all of those things, I believe, are unrealistic expectations. They're not fair to you, and they're not fair to the child or children.
I like that. That's good. I want to indulge deeper because I think number 7 is something that we learned from growing. I wish somebody would have sat down and given us a list like this, or even pulled me to the side as a man. But just through experience, after they met, things like that, when I knew Charmaine and I were headed into what the Bible calls actual courting before we got married, I had a conversation with both of them. And fellas, I would actually charge you and push you to have a conversation with your potential spouse and your kid's biological mother. And I had an expectation. And even that, I've always said that, but let me say too, ladies, if you know you got a crazy baby daddy, and you know that you and your potential spouse could possibly be getting married, or you guys are engaged, bring them to men. Let me say this. Bring those two black men or whatever they are, whoever they are.
Whatever nationality.
Whatever nationality they are. Bring them to the table and have a conversation.
Yes.
Me personally, we had dinner. We basically hashed out a lot of our issues that once we came to the acknowledgement of what they weren't even issues. They were temporary feelings because there was no understanding. And the way I started off the conversation was basically apologizing to both of them. Me apologizing to my daughter's mom for having our child around somebody who she hadn't fully known, understood, you know, anything that she may have heard, any misunderstandings about what my intentions were, what her intentions were. And again, I'm apologizing to her in front of at that time was my fiance. Then after that, I apologized to my fiance in front of my daughter's mom. And again, we could, in every instance, we can go back to the list. It was honest communication.
Yep.
It had people knowing their role.
Yep.
It covered so much. And with that, that night we set expectations. Was that conversation comfortable? No. Did everything change the next day when the sun came up? No. But as a man, there was a foundation there that I hadn't had a chance to see because both of us came from homes where we had both the biological mom and the biological father. So that was a that was a sign from God that I was on the right track.
Yeah.
And that although we had been building from sticks and hay and all this other type of stuff, when we had this conversation, now the foundation became cement.
Yeah. Yeah.
It became more stern.
Yes.
It became a real foundation. And from there it grew. In that conversation were barriers. In that conversation were roles. And in that conversation was honest expectation. Even to the point where, I remember my fiance saying, "Hey, at this moment, I know you don't like me. But I know we don't know each other.
Right.
And I want to get to know you."
Right.
That's an honest expectation. I'm not saying, "Hey girl, we're going to the mall tomorrow and we're going to get our nails and toes done 2 weeks from now." That's just saying, "Hey, in order for this child who we put in first, remember, in order for this child to live and to be successful, we have to put our differences aside." When this conversation when we had this conversation, London was not present.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember it vague. Like I remember like we were at that restaurant for almost 4 hours.
Yeah.
Sitting there having a conversation.
Not vaguely.
Not vaguely.
Like
I remember like it's yesterday. Yeah, like conversation. I'm talking about to the point where
it's a moment you'll never forget.
Like I'm talking about food getting cold. We saying, you know what? We really didn't even come here for the food, but take the food, bring me another glass of water. And she like, "Well, you want me to get you a picture? Because this is like the 9th or 10th. But that's what that's what this has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be that expectation. When there's no true expectations, realistic expectations.
Yes.
Excuse me. When there are no realistic expectations, you open the lines of communication for there to be turmoil, for there to be mess, for there to be confusion. And when you're building a family, none of that stuff can grow.
Yes.
You can't grow like that. So I wanted to put that out there. Again, if you are listening to this and you need help in the area, hit us.
Please.
May God continue to give us the wisdom to be able to guide and to help. And again, we don't know everything. We ain't the end all be all. This ain't that. We're just using our godly and spiritual wisdom techniques through influence, through experiments, through life to just help you.
Yes, absolutely.
Fellas, I'm telling you as a man, when you have that conversation, a switch goes off in your potential spouse's head that, oh, that's that dude. And not only that, he wants to protect me.
Yes.
He wants to cover me.
Yes.
So not only do I know that he wants to be an amazing father, but I know that he now wants to be an amazing provider.
Yes. Yes.
You got me? So we got to have that conversation. And again, it's not easy. It's not an easy conversation. If y'all need me, hit me. If y'all need her, hit her.
Yes.
We would love to help you out. We would love to
rock at yahoo.com. If you have any questions.
Or you can hit us on our social media. My handle is The Kid on Keys, DAKIDONKEYS. Her handle is Charmaine Broome. Number 8.
Yes. You got it.
Number 8.
Yes.
Well, I just did a lot of talking. You want me to do number 8?
Sure.
Okay. Number 8. It's simple. Respect the village.
Period.
Respect your village. Understanding that this is not a life for selfish people. What do you say when you mean that? When I mean selfish, I'm not just talking about me, myself, and I. But I'm talking about this ain't just about me and her.
Mm-hmm.
She has a whole mother on the other side of the table who has given birth to her. Not only that, her mother has a mother that loves her as a grandbaby, and they got aunts and aunts, and you have to respect the village.
That's it.
I don't want to dig in too deep, but what I will say is, when you respect the village, you respect the authoritative figure in your child's life.
Yes.
If I call London's mother now, and I'm looking for London, and she says, "Oh, she's in such and such with my mama," that's the end of the story.
Have her call me when they're done.
That's it. I have to respect the elements of the village because that is what helps the child grow.
Yep.
That is what gives the child balance.
Yes.
If she called me and say, I have to understand that if if I wouldn't put my child in a compromising situation, then I have to give her that same respect. I have to, because she's a part of that's the village. That's her mom.
Yep.
You have to give the grace and the respect out that you want. In respecting the village, you have to respect the different pieces. Even in education, respect the teachers. You know, respect the people that are in your child's life, and it's important to do that because that aids balance. Because I never want London to feel like, oh, it's my daddy and his wife, and then it's just my mama.
Yeah.
You know, but when you have different pieces that we respect, that she respects, it makes it better. Because again, now even in the village, everybody already know their role. Everybody already respecting the barriers. So even in her village, they're not talking about her, and in our village, we're not talking about them.
Right.
You got what I'm saying? So it is important to respect the village.
Yes.
When you say the village, that's everything from the mama, the daddy, the aunt, the uncle, the grandma, granddaddy, all of that. Y'all, like, it's important because in our culture we are very opinionative. And we so quick to pass judgment and give our opinion on somebody or somebody's situation. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Let's not do that. Let's respect.
So
Let's at the end of the day, before I judge where her mama is at, I'll say, you know what? You can't judge where her mama has you at. You have to respect where she has her at. That's two different things.
That's good. That's good. That was good.
Really?
Yes.
You want to expound, or are you good?
No, you said it all.
Who's the smartest? Who reads their Bible every day?
You know that's gonna wear me out.
What?
All right, moving on.
Moving on.
Number 9. Oh, we're almost done. Number 9. There is no I in team.
None.
We are all in this together.
We're all a part of God's body.
Yes.
I've been walking heavy today.
That was so heavy. Like, we might as well just ask for tithes and offering. That was so heavy.
Wow. Why do you do this to me on this? Why do
Put
you
a
put me on the spot
seed
like
on.
this?
Put a seed in the ground.
Why do you put me on the spot like this? There's no I in team. What does that mean? What does that mean to you personally?
To me, it literally means, it's self-explanatory. We are literally all in this together. If something is needed for London and you aren't reachable and someone is able to reach, I am reachable and I'm able to help with the solution. It's not just a you problem.
Yeah. I like that.
It's our problem.
Or I task.
Yeah. It's not just an I task. It's an us task. And so I play a part in this too. I have responsibility in this too. And so we're all in this together.
Yeah. And it is actually, and this is just something that we're dealing with now, with her birthday being 2 days away. It's actually fun for the child. You know, she'll get in a group message and she has a birthday list.
Hilarious.
She has a birthday list, and she has the list, not only the picture. It's basically a presentation. These kids are crazy these days, y'all.
They're very creative.
It's basically a presentation
it's a
of what she needs for her birthday. But in that, everybody's name is on the list. So of course, Daddy has the most expensive stuff. I don't know what it is, but so Daddy has the iPhone and the Apple Watch. Mommy has the purse and the Uggs. Moomy has the edge control and the ankle bracelet, and
gift cards.
It's just there's no I in team. And we say back in South Carolina, if I got it, you got it. That's naturally what we live.
Yes.
There will never be a time that her mother doesn't have it because we'll have it.
Yes.
There'll never be a time that we'll not have it because her mother will have it.
Yes.
And we all join together in making that really like our stand.
Yes.
We stand firm on that. A lot of times things happen. Y'all know these kids grow. They're growing fast. You know, she just graduated from 6th grade, coming out of a school for the last 4 years where she had to wear uniforms. We split the cost of them uniforms. Yep. You know, it ain't all about what you can bring or what I can bring. Like let's split the cost of this stuff. There is no I in team. That's not just financial too, though, because a lot of times I know in the Black community or the African American community, we put a lot of emphasis on the things that are attached to our money. There's no I in team comes with life too.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to tell all my baby business because she gonna grow older and watch this, but we just finished having her for 3 weeks, doing science and
Lord
schoolwork.
Jesus.
It's just
Digital learning.
digital learning. I think in 15 days we conquered about 225 pages of work.
Yes.
But that was our 3 weeks. Before our 3 weeks, her mom had 3 weeks. You know, we split the responsibility. I said that because in being with us, how can I put it without telling all her business? In being with us, she transitioned.
She had a lady moment.
Yeah.
She had her very first lady moment.
Yeah.
Where
So,
she needed
yeah.
lady products.
Yeah, she had her lady moment. And you know, the first thing this one did was when she came and said it, she said, "Okay, come on, let's call mommy. We got to call mommy." Like,
No, that's not how it happened.
how did it happen?
What happened was we were upstairs learning and she needed to use the restroom. And so I said, okay, we'll go ahead and take a break, use the bathroom. She swung that door open and she said, I got to call my mama. I got to call my mama.
Right.
I instantly knew what it was. Like
Right.
instantly I said, okay. Because it was just the way she said it, her tone and her mannerisms. I just knew. And her mom, she was on FaceTime with her mom, told her mom, I think that it's here. And we confirmed that it was there. She said, Mumi, come in the bathroom. And so I came in the bathroom and it was really, really beautiful for me because I was able to experience that moment with them in the beginning. And then maybe 30 seconds later, I said, London, okay, I'm going to step out of the bathroom so you and your mom can share this moment together. I'll be in my room, you know, whenever you're done and whenever you're ready, just, you know, come and get me. And that was that.
But there's no I in team, so that moment was special for all of us.
Super special. Like, I'm so grateful.
Yeah. So even with that.
And I thanked her for that. I'm sorry. I don't know if I ever shared this with you last week. But when London and I were upstairs watching movies one night, you know, I paused and I said, London, I said, I want to thank you. She said, why? And I said, well, I want to thank you because you allowed me to be a part of a very special moment with you and your mom. And she said to me, she said, Mumi, it's okay. She said, you'll always be a part of my life. And I literally was just like, oh, gosh.
Supportive.
It just crushed me in the best way. So,
crybaby. But I'll say this. With everything that we have given you all, these are different blueprints, different formulas to help you. But one of the biggest blessings, and I'll let you tell yours. One of the biggest blessings for me is to actually see London and how she responds to our consistency. How she responds to her mom and her Mumi and basically the open communication that we have. It's an amazing thing to sleep at night knowing that with all the other crazy stuff in the world, at least my family is intact. At least my family is peaceful. You know,
Lord. Thank you, Lord Jesus.
It's a strange world that we live in, but when you go to bed at night as a African American man, you have to think like, hey, it's a possibility something could happen, but I know my child is in good hands. So one of the biggest blessings of just working these pointers, working these ideas is just understand, like seeing it reflect in the child. And then you hear her friends say, you know, at her dance competition, is that your Mumi? You know, are you going to Atlanta? Like they had a dance competition in Atlanta and her friends came over and had a sleepover. You know, one year for her birthday, she had a sleepover here. Like, again, it's so many ways to cultivate it. So it's fun for you.
Yes.
You know, what's one of your biggest blessings or one of your kind of like aha moments?
Oh, goodness. I think one of the greatest things that we've experienced so far is when London was able to see us all go out to eat. and hang out
Laugh.
and laugh
Yeah.
and joke and play.
Yeah.
And it was really a moment that I believe was very transitional for her.
Mm-hmm.
From her coming out of the shy shell, not knowing how to act around each of us,
Mm-hmm.
or trying to decipher
If she
how
can be
to act in
herself.
front of
Yeah.
and I
Because
believe
kids know.
kids absolutely know.
Yeah.
And so I believe that was one of the greatest moments for me personally, because we were in a position to grant her the opportunity to know that it's about her.
Yeah.
It's about her.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
I really love you.
I love you too.
You're such a beautiful.
I would kiss you, but you said that my breath smelled earlier. I've had a smoothie. And
you're such a beautiful, educated soul.
I know. Tell me more.
Who's the smartest? I am. Who reads their Bible every day?
I do.
Check my stats.
Check mine.
I'm on day 417. Every time I say something, the number keeps going higher.
Right.
Anyway, y'all, listen. If y'all have enjoyed us, hit us up.
Did we get the 10th one?
It's only 9.
No, it was 10. Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of really how you ended it.
Yeah, that's how we ended it. Stay consistent on rules, communication. Yeah. That's how we kind of summed it up.
Yes.
It's really only 9, but we put the 10th one in there as just a reminder.
Okay.
I'm Tario Broome. This is Charmaine Broome, my beautiful wife.
Right.
And if you all have enjoyed us, do us a favor and just pray for us.
Oh.
If we have blessed you, just right where you are right now, just point your hand towards the camera or however y'all looking at us and just say a prayer for us. That's all we need. We don't want your money.
No.
We don't, that's not why we're here.
Don't worry. I'm not crying. I'm good.
Aww.
Let's go. Keep going.
Y'all should cry, baby.
Keep going.
Just say a prayer for us. Dion, we love you. We love what you're doing.
Yes, we do. We love you, Jennifer.
Dion is an amazing friend of ours.
Yes, he is.
They have counseled us, and he has talked me off some ledges. And he is just an incredible man. Him and his wife, Jennifer, we love both of them. We love what you're doing.
Yes.
All right, we're about to get out of here because we've been talking for an hour and 2 minutes now. We love y'all. Yes. We don't even know y'all, but we love y'all. Hit us up, The Kid on Keys on IG.
Yes.
DAKIDONKEYS. I'm
not saying fool anymore. I changed my name.
What is it?
Charmaine Broome.
Yes. Charmaine Broome.
Yes. And you can find us on blendedfamiliesrock.com. Yep. You can find us on Blended Families Rock on all social media. Yep. That is our handle. And we just wanna let you guys know. Listen, blended families can work. They do work.
They will work.
They will work.
They will work.
But it takes work.
Yep.
It takes work.
Yep.
We're here to help you.
One last thing.
Yes.
I hate that I got to go back into it. How do we come? Because we started saying it, but I don't think we ever explained. Because it's hard trying to remember everything and explain everything. Where did Moomy come from? How did we get Moomy? Oh, my goodness.
We got the word Moomy. She calls me Moomy. And before we got married, while we were engaged, my husband said, listen, I don't know if I want her to continue calling you Charmaine. We're entering into a different realm. We're entering into a different level of life. And so I believe with the upgrade, there should be an upgrade all across the board.
And respect too, because I'm a Southern boy. So even at 35, I still say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and yes, sir, and no, sir. So
absolutely.
I believe in that.
Absolutely. And so my husband said, we should kind of talk to her about it because London came to us for the longest time. And she said, when you guys get married, I want to call you mommy.
Yeah.
I want to call you mommy. And we were like, well, no, let's come up with another name.
Right, because you have a mommy.
Yes, yeah. You already have a mommy. And so with Tario saying what he said, and then with her starting to say what she was saying, we kind of knew we were on the right street. And so we had a conversation with her and we said, hey, listen, Daddy has thought of something and I've thought of something. What we're thinking about is we want to give you the opportunity to come up and create a name that you feel is suitable for me. That is not mommy. And she came up with Moomy.
Yeah, because I was like Moomy too. I was like
Ma 2 or something
Yeah, I
like
was like
that.
Ma 2. And you're
Yeah,
like, no,
I
that's
was like, I don't
old.
like that.
Yeah. So
Ma
that's where we
2.
come up with movies.
That's where it comes from.
Yeah, y'all get creative, man. Y'all have fun. Enjoy life. Enjoy your family.
Yes.
Men, enjoy crafting the mobility of your home.
Yes.
And everything. Seek God first. Seek God first. I can't really expound without taking a whole nother hour about how important that is. Become that kingdom man, become that example. Even if it's something you didn't see, become what you didn't see. Even if it's something that you don't know, learn it. Get the information. There are sources, there are resources, there are mentors that are afforded to us. A lot of times we just put our pride in the way and don't want to get help. Get help. Be vocal. Hit me. Hit me in my DM. Let's talk. Let's chop it up. Tell me you saw the video. Ask me questions. Let's chop it up. There is hope.
Yes, it is.
And it will work.
Yes, it will.
All right. So again, we signing off. It's been an hour and 5 minutes.
A great
We just
hour
sitting here
and 5
talking. We sweating. We about to go get something to eat.
You're sweating. I'm not sweating.
That's because you have on makeup, though. You did the little powder thing where you don't sweat, the little TV makeup thing. Anyway, we gone. We love y'all.
Yes,
we hope y'all enjoyed us. We enjoyed y'all. And be safe.
Peace.
Peace.
You gotta press the button.
Hold on. You gotta give her some time to play because then they gotta cut it.
Okay.
Keep swimming.
Jaw's hurt.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.